All right, we are officially live. We'll wait a little bit to let a couple people start rolling in, but I broke out the festive 2.0 for the occasion. My Scrooge will be here on Monday. We got Lee Carver with us right now. See Dub in the chat. But yeah, this is the face to face. We haven't done one of these in a long time. I think the last one we did was at the church with Rick Mole, that I also made a slight appearance in. I don't think Lee Carver was there, but he's here tonight. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of shit, Knoxx stuff related. Yeah.
I'm here right now, baby.
How you doing tonight, Lee?
I am doing fan-fucking-tastic, Mr. Nukem. How are you,
Killing it,
sir?
bro. Happy to be here. Like I said, it's been a while since we did one of these. I think a couple weeks ago we did the Cody Manson interview, but tonight we're here with the man himself, 1/3 of the almighty Lee Carver.
It's a pleasure to fucking be here. Zooligans up in this bitch. I love and miss every one of you motherfuckers representing in the chat. I don't know who's in the chat. I'm afraid if I click the fucking button that I'll cancel all this shit.
Yeah.
So just know if you're participating that I'm here for you, baby.
Hell yeah. And everybody hit the like button right now, because the more attention we get on this, the more people in the alley will get it in their timeline. So let's get this spread around the alley, get everybody in here. I guess, I want to lead out with a strong question. So I heard there's a story about your hatred for mustard. Is that true?
Yeah, there is an origin story, man, and it's probably one of my more embarrassing, but like hilarious as fuck stories. So, back when I was a mortal adolescent child, fresh out of high school, and I needed a job, I worked at Skyline with a homie of mine, and he was like the assistant manager type, right? Skyline, for those of you who are uninitiated, is a fucking chili cheese dog place in Ohio. It's the rival of Gold Star Chili. See, we're already talking about fucking food already, bro. See, this is how Luke Nukem got me fucked up, bro. I was working at a Skyline Chili, and I was a dishwasher. I was a young upstart lad, if you will. And I was in the back smoking a cigarette. And I get all the clean dishes, I gather them up, and I'm hoisting this big ass fucking tray, right? So I hated mustard before this shit popped off. Like, this isn't like the moment I decided I hate it, but this is what cemented it into my soul. A deep, dark hatred of the condiment known as mustard.
Set it over
so
the edge.
I'm carrying this big ass tray of dishes, carrying the big ass tray of dishes, walking in the front to restock them. It's like noon lunch rush at this Skyline that I'm working at. And my homie thinks it'd be funny. You know how they got the little wooden sticks, the mustard tongs, Luke?
Yeah.
He walks up behind me and just fucking gives me a gigantic mustache of mustard, bro. And I just drop this fucking huge ass tray of dish. For getting sick. But yeah, man. That was the moment.
That was the moment that set you over the top.
That was it, man.
Well, all right. Since this was all.
So there you have it, Zooligans.
There's the origin story of the hatred for mustard. So since we're kind of like going back, was this like in Dayton? Is this like where you came up, Dayton?
Back when I was a mortal human adolescent child I lived in the suburbs of Dayton, Ohio, known as Franklin. And then I came up, that's when I moved into the Dayton area after I graduated or whatever. But yeah, man, I've always lived in Southwest Ohio in some territory, whether it be Dayton or south of Dayton. But
So
I live
like
in Dayton now.
so since we're going back there already, we can start talking about a little bit of like the origin of the mortal, also known as Lee Carver. So like coming up,
Absolutely.
I've kind of heard some stories about your come up, but like kind of what was the music that inspired you to, I guess, eventually grow into what became Knoxx?
Well, when I was a adolescent young human child, and I called
We're trying
myself
to be
Knoxx,
kayfabe as possible here.
and I wore skeleton gloves. I don't know any other way, man. I don't know what you're talking about, Luke Nukem. But yeah, man, when I was a human being, man, and I was rocking the skeleton gloves and shit, that's when I was coming up. I came up in Dayton, Ohio. The music, though, that helped me fucking come up is nothing like the music that me and my brothers, the Ala Azuli Luke, we make. I don't really listen to much horrorcore to inspire myself. So I listen to a lot of a lot of different shit, man. A lot of I have a vast array of tastes, if you will. But to me, it's always about hip hop, no matter what. It's about rhyming. It's about being a fucking rapper, and it's about being an artist.
Yeah, I think that's always shown in your music. I know even like Insane Poetry did that interview where he kind of talked about how horrorcore kind of got a bad label because people focused more on storytelling rather than lyricism. And that was also the interview where he shouted you guys out, AXE. But I guess that kind of begs the question then, how
All
did
that
you?
motherfucker, man.
Yeah, well, hopefully we're gonna get him on the show here soon too. Um, so I guess that begs the question then, how did you fall into horrorcore then? Like, if you didn't listen to it, how did it? How did you kind of fall into that style?
I I came up listening I've always been into hip hop. I've listened to hip hop since I was a little fetus. So you know, I think naturally becoming a young juggalo, honestly, discovering ICP, discovering Twisted, discovering everybody that was doing shit up in Detroit. Like I said, I came up in Dayton, so Detroit was like this mythical promised land of hip hop, up north, right up the highway. And I'm old as fuck, so I didn't come up in an age where I could just press a button and get music. We had to procure music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, we had
So
to actually
like
go buy the physical CD and shit.
I found little tidbits here and there. Yeah, yeah. So finding, the great Malenko, listening to fucking Most Tasteless for the first time, the OG Most Tasteless, really shaped and molded where I was at. That's kind of how I dabbled into the underground. You had motherfuckers doing shit back then that was so fucking ill. It really, I mean, everybody is like so nostalgia driven when it comes to the underground, and it's because the shit that inspired everybody and paved the way for everybody was so dope and so original, so theatrical that it was too dope not to fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're kind of going through like a reawakening of the underground, I think, where we've got people who literally grew up with that music now who are making music. Like you guys are a very good example of people who like, especially Bill, came up a juggalo and now he's making music, on MNE. So it's kind of like I said, it's like a reawakening, like a reemerging of like the real wicked shit again.
Yeah, man, and I've always been a big fucking. I don't really give a fuck who I offend by saying it, but like, if you can't rap, you don't belong in any genre of hip hop, subgenre of hip hop. It doesn't fucking matter if it's horrorcore. It doesn't matter if it's fucking nerdcore. If it's fucking, I don't give a fuck what core it is. Like, if you can't spit, you can't rap. You don't belong in rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can't
there was
be
a
a
lot of that.
construction worker and set up orange barrels. Okay?
That
I'm
was
not
kind of
trying to
like,
do that shit.
yeah, back in the
Can't do
day,
that shit.
it was like horrorcore.com was kind of like, that was where it was like the mecca of like artists who
I'm
put their
from that shit.
yeah, musicians who put their music on MySpace, and they were like, it's kind of, I guess, what like Insane Poetry was saying, where kind of the bad label came from, and now we kind of have that again. Only now it's like SoundCloud rappers. So there's always going to be people out there that
you had
yeah.
motherfuckers that was just like, I downloaded FL Studio and got a computer mic, and now I've started my rap career. And that shit just, the scene was polluted, man. And I think that there were so many fucking non-talented motherfuckers. There's a lot of talented motherfuckers in the underground right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the case, in my opinion, 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't.
Like, there was just still ICP, Twisted, you know, everybody that orbits that scene, and then everybody else. There were so many fart bag ass fucking rappers that they were all bolstering each other and gassing each other up and pretending that they actually existed when they really didn't.
Yeah.
And I think all of that's finally weeded itself out.
A little bit, yeah. There'll always be some whack ass rappers, but for the most part, yeah,
Well, there has to be. I have to eat somehow.
Yeah, there have to be some openers at a show, right? Not dissing all openers, but
damn, Luke Nukem's out here assassinating people here.
Gotta nuke somebody, bro.
He's a fucking savage. God damn.
Just gotta tell the truth sometimes, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, so let's get into like the formation of Knoxx. Like, where did the name come from, first of all? Because I know Speaker Knoxx. Did it have anything to do with Speaker Knoxx?
Speaker Knoxx.
It's spelled Speaker Knockers. I don't know if you know Speaker
Knockers. Like the adjective, like your speaker's knocking or whatever.
Yeah. But I guess
no, it has nothing to do with that. A couple things. It's a culmination of a couple different things. I always like the word noxious.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make like very vulgar, thought-provoking music during that time. So I thought the word noxious was like a very strong word. So I just took Knoxx and then kind of like humanized it to an extent. And then there was always the connection to, like old school rappers and shit. They would like name themselves after like stick up kids and like criminals and like crime, bank robbers and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought the illest fictional person out of anybody in that category would be, like, Mickey Knoxx. So, I don't know. The word just resonated with me, man. And I think I had gone through at that time, it was probably, like, 690 at the probably stage names, trying to decide what fit. And then I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm pulling the trigger. It fit. I was a cherub-faced human boy wearing fucking fitted hats and skeleton gloves. And then, life happens.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about, like, what was that transition like going from, like, a solo artist, Knoxx, to dying and being resurrected as Lee Carver in the Almighty?
I always was like so dead set against being in a group because I hate other human people. But I think once you vibe with certain people, man, or once you just hit a certain, like me, Joe, and Bill, we have like the same creative wavelength. We've keyed in on each other. Like, I know exactly what each other's thinking before they say it, and vice versa. You feel me? Like, when we're in the studio crafting music, if something's bad, nobody has to say that's bad. We all hear that it's bad. And we all know instinctively to cover that up or do this or do that, or this needs change or that needs whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have that creative wavelength. And I think when you meet people like that, it just changes your outlook on what you want to do. And I had been kind of, beating the fucking roads Like I did a lot of shows as Knoxx, man. I did a lot of motherfucking. I put a lot of miles on my shit, and then the paths intersected, man. And there's just kind of happenstance, and you're just like, man, it just feels right. When homies have the same creative vision, the same momentum behind them, and have one objective, I guess it makes the decision really easy.
Yeah, so I guess for people who don't know, can you tell them the story about how you kind of met the boys and kind of linked up, I guess, so to speak?
The motherfucking underground, man, Southern Ohio, bro. Like we were coming up at the same time, man. Like I said, when I was human skeleton fitted hat boy Knoxx, sweet cherub faced human boy. Our paths intersected, and the only nice thing Joey Black ever said to me during our friendship tenure is he came up to me and he was like, "Yo," I'm like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "You're really fucking good, bro." But yeah, that's kind of what started shit, you know, and me and the guys hit it off like instantly, bro, and then we started to go on fucking tandem bicycle rides and go on nature walks and
walks on the beach.
We built 3 fucking bunk beds, man, and that's the end of the story, really.
I've always thought it was funny that like your first like album, Masker Mask, like if you look at the cover, it almost looks like a Forever face on the cover. So it almost seemed like it was destined to happen eventually.
Yeah, man, it's funny that you bring that shit up because I've had a couple people, just a couple, honestly, not a lot. A couple people have mentioned that before, and me and the guys have talked about it 100 times probably. It's just that there was just this wavelength, man. I don't know how to describe it. Just some sort of magic about our shit. Like it was cohesive before we even fucking met each other in some respect. I don't know. There's some sort of dark mysticism behind it, man. I don't know how to describe it.
You were all kind of,
but it's definitely the workings of the fucking devil, bro.
Yeah. You were all drinking that Ohio water.
Exactly, man.
So I guess since we're talking about Knoxx, there's been kind of a long history of Masker Mask being on Zoolmart but not available. So we've heard from Bill a couple times in the alley that we're kind of waiting on a Masker Mask re-release. Do we have any more information on that release, or?
Yeah, man, I can give it to you guys right now, man. First and foremost, I'd like to thank each of you motherfuckers because you guys willed that shit into existence. Like, I was fine to let it die, and I always am fine to let it die. It's you guys, the Zooligans, that keep pumping this shit and keep making us, like, go back and extract little nuggets from the past and bring them up to the present because you guys demand it. So if you guys have always been vocal about it, so finally we're just pulling the trigger. I think the first quarter of next year, it'll definitely be done. It's not going to be too much time at all. I'd say in like 2 months, probably you'll see it.
Dope. So is there any chance if that does well that we'll also see Backstabber's Handbook?
Man, that's a different kind of beast, you know what I'm saying? Like I made that as a mixtape. So those beats aren't very like
yeah.
They're not like legal, so to speak. So I'm not trying to go back and recreate that shit. I just kind of want to let that die. I don't know if you guys fuck with it that much. I don't know. I don't see that one coming back. It's dope though that you guys would even think about buying that shit though. Because I'll be honest with you, man. When I fucking made that shit, I fucking sat on my goddamn bedroom floor and fucking cut those motherfuckers myself and burnt those motherfuckers myself and signed the insides of them. That shit was manufactured by hand by me. So, man, fucking thank you. If you're still rocking that shit and listening to that shit in 2020, man, that means the world to me, man.
Yeah, that's like
My horns go up to you.
Yeah, that's what the underground's all about, though. It's like all these artists that are in the underground, because they don't have backing by major labels, are all like they're all hustling, man. You know, they're all, you know, doing their own CDRs, like hooking up their own merch, like doing shows all over the place. Like, you know, that's kind of what it's been about.
Yeah,
You know?
man, no mercy, no surrender, man. Fuck it. It's not having a label's backing is a fucking not an excuse in this day and age in music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and nowadays you don't even really need a
Like they
label
just
anymore.
no. Like I mean, it's easy for the guy that's on a label to be like, yeah, you don't need a label, but it's the truth, man. If you have, it's kind of like being on a label. This is my word to anybody that's an aspiring artist that's watching this. Being an artist and getting a record deal is like being an American citizen and applying for a bank loan. You gotta prove to these motherfuckers that you don't need the money. You know what I'm saying? You gotta prove to them that you can live without them.
Mm-hmm.
You need to show the bank that you don't need that loan to get that loan. As fucking asinine crazy as that is.
It's a zero risk. It's a zero risk for them to take you on, basically, is what it is.
Exactly. It's just the way it is, man. You got to prove to these motherfuckers that you don't need them to get them.
Yeah.
And I guess that goes with really anybody in the music business, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to talk about somebody who doesn't need a label that's doing very well, just look at Loki. You know, Loki's killing the game. He's not on any label, as far as I know.
Besides, man, a label's a fucking construct, man. What's a label, man? Sorry.
Oh. So I guess, yeah, you know, I guess we can kind of take this to a little bit more modern day. Is you know, with the pandemic and everything, and you guys were recording Mausoleum basically during the pandemic. Would you say that affected the album at all? Like, did it affect the way that you thought about the music or the way that you wrote? Or
man, I'll be completely dead honest. There's like 6 or 7 songs that are not Mausoleum related that we wrote that are so fucking ridiculous. It's crazy. It's pre-pandemic, right? We wrote a bunch of songs for certain shit that was all about viruses and death and decay and like fucking like, and now all the material hits really close to home. And it's fucked up. When the world wasn't like that, that's when I wrote all this virusy death infestation, like, you know, really fucking like biological gross fucked up bars, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And now that the world's actually going through some shit like that, I felt like I wanted to fucking, so I would say Mausoleum was affected in a myriad of ways that were different. And I think that you could definitely say the pandemic shaped it. It wasn't as hands-on as we wanted it to be because we really wanted to craft a world with that record. And I think that we did a good job at that. But we always want to do more with everything. And I think that's always going to fucking be a thing for us when we drop shit. Is we always listen to it and be like, fuck, man, we wanted to do this, and we missed that shit. But there just has to be a thing where it's just like, bruh, like you have to just step back and be like, okay, it's done,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Like eventually you just got to go, okay, you know, here's my baby, like, enjoy it.
But like, yeah, man, I think, you know, we wanted to have a couple more sessions with Dave. We wanted to do a couple more hands-on things. But in terms of the content, I think it was shaped because I'm so sick of the fucking planet and humanity. I just want to fucking write music that takes us to a different place than that, man.
Yeah. Since you brought up Dave, are you guys gonna work with him again in the near future?
Absolutely, man. I'm actually gonna fucking get done with you, and I'm gonna write to a fucking beat that he just sent me.
Dope. Yeah, because I really like that.
Well, he just sent us, rather. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Dave is the 4th member of AXE in terms of like He's the invisible hand of production.
That's dope. Yeah.
We love that dude. We're so impressed by him, and honestly, like from a personal standpoint, like he just fits. He's a good human man.
Yeah, that's why I originally brought him on for that first interview I did with him. Is I watched a lot of his live streams, and like he's like an old school juggalo, and there was so much about Dave that I felt like nobody really knew about. And so I figured, by bringing him on, the Zooligans would learn about him, and be like, he's one of us, you know what I mean? And, especially with Mausoleum, I think he's definitely like
totally, man.
Yeah.
We only want to work with fucking awkward creeps like ourselves, man. We don't want to work with cool people.
Yeah. So we know there's another album coming out in April-ish, since Bill teased at it. Is there any other information that we have about that album that's the Zooligans can hear about, or is it just
I think this is our most conceptual shit ever. And I think obviously, a lot of people have already speculated on what it is. But I think when people hear it, it's gonna really fucking be like, damn, man, like you really upped the fucking ante and blew away my expectations on what this could have been. Because I can tell you that I don't know, man. I'm trying not to get in trouble, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. We don't want to get you in trouble, bro. But
I don't want to get Joe and Bill mad at me. But I will say, if you think you know what we're making, you're probably right for April. For April, not for beyond that, because there's plans for beyond that I can't and won't speak on. But some insanely dope shit. The dopest music that this group has made is in the future, man, because the fucking game plan that we have moving forward is just sick. I wish I could tell all of you motherfuckers. I just can't, though. But I will say this about the project that's coming out in April, that it's going to blow away your expectations of what you think that record can be. You probably want to think it's like its baby brother and be like, oh, it's going to be just a little nugget, a little appetizer. Nah, man, it's big as fuck. It's big. So we've been working on it for a minute.
Is it going to be full length then?
Huh?
Is it going to be a full length album?
Beyond full length, actually. I mean, we cut shit out of it. So, I mean, it's a heaping helping, man. We're coming at you guys with another full length album.
Dope.
In April. And it's fucking fire, and I love it. And me and my brothers loved it.
Yeah, so you guys are like building kind of like this. I think I said this in my review. It's like the AXE extended universe where you've got the Mausoleum and then the Church of Zool, and it's like apparent on the cover of Mausoleum, because you got the church in the background, and then so you're kind of. I guess you do continue to plan on building on that extended universe kind of in the.
It's the thing that keeps us making music, honestly, man. That passion and that drive to create this brand and this little niche of this genre that belongs to us and our people. And that universe that we talk about that has all these different things and places and objects and people that dwell inside of it. That to me is the most magical shit that we do. That we're working on consistently. That's what drives me, bro. And I love it because to me, so far, the way we've nurtured it and built it, it's like if that is not your thing, we're not rubbing your fucking nose in it, so to speak. We're still making music that you can just listen to a track and be like, this song's about this song's about that, whatever the fuck. I'm not trying to make this shit Lord of the Rings, but for those of you who really dig into this motherfucker and appreciate shit like that, there's always going to be fucking little savory nuggets for you to find. Because I love nuggets, motherfuckers.
So it being the holiday season, is there any chance we're gonna get an Xmas song this year?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, that's the fucking beat that I'm working on, goddammit.
Oh, so it is gonna be Slasher Dave again then.
Yep, Slasher Dave presents the new AXE track this Christmas for your ear holes. We're gonna drop another festive fucking Yule log on your asses.
Yeah, I guess it's the next best thing to actually having Xmas this year, I guess.
Ah, man, right in the fucking feels, Luke.
Yeah, and I
I
didn't want
wish
to
we were
bring it up.
having Xmas, brother.
Yeah, but I guess like in its place, we kind of have Attack of the Ninjas. Was this what was you guys have recorded that already, correct?
Yeah,
What was that
it's not live.
yeah. How was that it's got to be weird kind of performing in front of nobody. Is that the first time you've ever done that?
Nope.
No. Oh,
Hell no, bro. I'm a motherfucking underground rapper, son. I've played in front of nobody plenty of times.
I didn't even think about that question before I asked it, but
No, it is different, man. It's not the same at all. It's not a substitute at all. But I still think it's dope that we can offer that to somebody who wants that. I would personally like if the roles are reversed, and I ain't seen AXE since February live. I'm definitely copping that just to see what's up. It's not optimal for what we want to do, man, but it's still better than nothing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I think that's how everybody feels. Like, we'd much rather see you guys live in person, but since it's probably going to be, a few months away, Attack of the Ninjas is the next best thing,
Yeah, Xmas. That's a legacy that'll never die, man. We'll have another Xmas next year. Fuck them.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Regardless, we'll have Xmas in a parking lot in bubbles if we have to. Giant plague bubbles.
So can you say anything about did you guys perform anything off the Mausoleum for Attack of the Ninjas? Can you divulge that at least? Yeah.
Yeah, man. A lot of Mausoleum is going to be what you hear when you go see AXE live. Whatever that experience consists of in the year 2021 on the mortal planet of Earth. I don't fucking know what that is like or what that entails, but you're going to hear a lot of Mausoleum.
Yeah. A lot of sanitary things and 6 feet of social distancing probably.
As long as you can impale people with like a pole to ensure the 6 feet distance, I'm fucking all about it.
Yeah, that'll be good. So we know we got a music video coming up as well. And Bill has said that we got a Mask Made Me Do It video coming at some point. Whether or not that's the same video that you guys shot or not, who knows? But do we have any word on when that video might be released? I know when we did the Parish video at Astro, it was about like 5 months or so before we got to actually see the video. Are we going to see this one sooner or about
hopefully it's not going to take that long, man. Luckily, more than just one video is coming, you guys. We got our hands in a bunch of different shit. A bunch of different visuals are coming. Multiple visuals are heading right towards your fucking face for you to ingest, for you to gobble up little contents. But we got a lot of shit. But we don't play. It sucks because when you're doing something like that, you have to eventually hand it over to people and then they do their shit and your hands are fucking tied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're just waiting for a fucking video to come back in your inbox. So it's just like we're sitting here with our horns up our asses. But we don't plan on it taking that long. And there's going to be a bunch of dope shit coming your fucking way. And honestly, I'll say Mask Made Me Do It video is one of the dopest things I've ever seen us do. One of the coolest fucking things we've done so far.
Yeah, that's, it's one of my favorite songs on that album. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think what I like most
Yeah,
about that
man, it
song
makes
is
me want to fucking missile drop kick somebody in the larynx, bro. It makes me want to kill people.
the thing I love about that song is there's so many like Zooligan type references to it. You know, like we know in your verse you mentioned the alley, which, you know, on behalf of everybody in the alley, you know, thank you, sir. I think the most I'd hoped for was that we would maybe get a mention in the book, you know, in the little booklet we get. Oh, thanks to the alley. But no, motherfucker, we got we actually got a verse, which was beyond dope. But you know, there's also the
You
Tom Mark.
motherfuckers are our world, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Like, honestly, on some Hallmark, we love you type shit. Like, we look at the alley every day. I look at the alley. Like, I don't know if I like everything that I see in the alley, or I post that I like everything in the alley, but I see that you motherfuckers are keeping that place active, and the admiration and devotion and the fucking, you guys are just unfucking believable, man. That's why I'm sitting right here doing this, is because this is the core nucleus of our fan base. I love and appreciate you motherfuckers infinitely.
Yeah, straight to the dwellers, man. There's
Yeah.
also the I think in that
Isn't that
same
fucking
verse.
weird how that came out, man?
It is funny, you know, that we got this whole group now, you know, we're
That's
growing every
weird,
day.
bro. I don't know how that shit happened. I actually hit Pretzel up about that.
It is strange
It's
that
like, I said dwelling in an alley, and you came out with the alley dweller, bro.
yeah, I remember talking to him about what we would call it.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then just Alley Dweller was one of the names I think that he spit out. And we're like, yeah, that's dope, man. What's wrong with that? When was that
Yeah,
song
it's
recorded?
fucking sick.
When was that song recorded? Mass Made Me Do It. Was that early on or was that later?
All of it was recorded like together as a batch, man. I'm trying to think. It's probably one of our first couple sessions of recording, honestly. A lot of that record was put together chronologically.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
fucking
also
love
that
that
song.
record though, man. It's
Yeah,
2 months after that baby's been out, man, and I still fucking listen to that shit. And I'm proud of what we put together.
yeah, people are still jamming out to that. It's I've said this before, but it's like every new album like becomes my new favorite Zool album. I don't know what it is, but it's like every time a new one comes out, it's like my new favorite. I don't know if it's just because it's like the new shit or if it's like the way you guys are evolving your sound and building like the universe and stuff. It's like I don't know. It's a
I think it's a fucking marriage of the two things, probably. Honestly, like from the out, trying to be like a non-objective perspective, like looking at our shit. Like it's kind of like to me, like when I was like when flipping the roles and like looking at things as like somebody as like a fan or somebody that's so devoted to something. It's like each time you get a new piece of that shit, like if a new game comes out in the franchise that you really like, oh, this is the fucking best one. This is the best one. Because it's new and it's fresh to you, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I feel like we put out music just enough to keep people to where it's like, oh, maybe this is the best one. I heard people say that Church of Zool was better than the Almighty, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh shit, whoa. That's half the length of that fucking album, you know, and I can't fathom that. It's cool. I think your favorite's Church of Zool, right?
Well, Mausoleum now, like I said, but yeah, I love Church of Zool. Like it's such a blasphemous album. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the short length actually helps it. And then that
Yeah, man, I fucking love that shit.
it ends with Zooligans, which is another one of my favorite songs that I got to see you guys perform live at Astro earlier this year. So I love that album. I think
Thank
it
you,
was
bro.
like for the content of what it was, being so like I said, like such a blasphemous, like dirty album. Like it just works at like 6 songs or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah, man. It's a little dose of hatred.
Yeah. And you know, that's what we love.
There's plenty more blasphemous shit on the way, man.
Hell yeah.
I know that Mausoleum's kind of like it's dark, but it never takes you to like an insanely dark place. It's always like a whimsical kind of evil to it.
Yeah, and
At
then you know
least in
you
my
have
opinion. I'm not saying it's like soft or anything.
mm-mm.
I think it's fucking just as murderous as anything else we put out. But it's just like the mausoleum was never meant to be like this fucking completely bleak, horrific place. It was supposed to inspire, like death does. You know what I'm saying? Death inspires people, and it
Yeah.
motivates people. And
And
I
you've
feel
got
like the mausoleum has that vibe.
yeah, you kind of got like rigor rectus in there to kind of lighten the mood a little bit as well. So,
Yeah,
which,
man.
which like Church of Zool didn't really have until like the end, with Zooligans. It was kind of like bleak, bleak, bleak.
Yeah, it was intentional as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I guess something that I have to ask, and I know I'm probably going to get a canned answer to this question. You might already know what's coming. Is what's the deal with V5? If I didn't ask this question, the dwellers would kill me. So I gotta ask the question.
Here's the thing, man. It's coming, and it's gonna happen, and we wouldn't tell you that it was if it wasn't, because that's not how we fuck around. I think what it is like to put an official statement on it's become a project that's the victim of two groups that are perpetually working and busy as fuck.
Yeah,
and we know that it just can't be this fucking album that we say, all right, we're gonna do our parts and send them to you. You're gonna do your parts, send them to us. It needs to be something cohesive, and it needs to be something that fucking murders people when they put it in their ear holes. And it's not gonna come out unless it has that amount of nurturing that an album like that requires. So it's gonna come out, but it's gonna be a painful motherfucker to extract from all parties involved. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because everybody in this camp is just so busy doing shit, man.
yeah. I mean, I know.
And it's like I would love to sit out a year and be like, yo, I'm gonna work on Venomous 5 for a year. Just us and Twisted, man. We're gonna sit in the studio and smoke and just make Venomous 5. But for one, the circumstances of this year changed a lot of shit for everybody.
Yeah.
So that kind of fucking threw a wrench in why you haven't heard much of why or where it's at. But it's happening, man. Like I said, it's just a painful process because it's a collaboration album.
Yeah, yeah.
And neither of us can really just be like, yeah, we're gonna tell these guys to fuck off, or we're gonna tell our fans to fuck off and just work exclusively on this. It needs to be pieced together.
Yeah, and
curated, if you will.
Yeah, you guys are kind of vibing, doing albums. They're doing a bunch of albums. Revelation just came out, and I think they've got another rock album coming out here soon. So it's kind of like a coordinating everybody to get, kind of taking two groups, smash them together with a little blasphemy. So it's kind of, kind of messes with the schedules a little bit, I guess, especially with everything going on.
Yeah, man, and it just can't be circumstantial. It just can't be something where it's like, hey, this is a Venomous 5 song because it has Twisted on it. Like, I don't want to do that to you guys. We don't want to do that to you guys. Like, the underground deserves something better than that.
Yeah,
it's going to be a real fucking project,
I guess this is hard to guess whether or not, given the circumstances, but was there, I guess, in the early kind of like formation of, say, V5, was there any discussion of like touring with that album at all, or was it kind of like Rida's, where it's like we'll put it out and then we'll just let it exist as it is?
That's another thing, is when this album does eventually see itself to the surface of reality, it's going to be a fucking campaign of blood. It's going to last for a minute, and it's going to be something very impactful. It's going to be something that both parties probably put a lot of stake into. So I think that would fucking adequately fucking give us a tour, things like that. Now, don't fucking get mad at me if it doesn't happen. But that is the plan when it does, in fact, become that time period where we unleash that shit.
So, yeah, I think that's what kind of everybody was looking forward to, because it's like, it's one thing to like hear the album, like sit at home and hear an album, and it's a whole another thing to like go and see that shit live. It's the impact is so much more
Exactly, man.
profound, man.
I think I'm glad that's why we're holding on to it a little bit longer. There's
Yeah,
parts of it that are done. I mean, I don't want you guys to think that there's nothing done with it. There are parts of Venomous that are finished. It's just that it just has to be curated. Chef's fucking kiss.
Yeah. I think that's probably what a lot of people wanted to hear. Just the fact that it's alive and still kicking, because it's kind of like it's a fabled album now in the underground. Everybody's like, when's V5 gonna happen? So the fact that it's like still being worked on, I think, is good news for everybody, really.
Never in our lives will we tell you that we're going to do something and not do it. The second that it becomes something that we're not going to do, we're going to tell you that we're not doing it.
Yeah, that it's dropped off the face of the planet, basically, right?
Absolutely. If it was dead in the water, I'd tell you right fucking now that there's no chance it's happening. But it's just under the ground, pulsating. Boom, 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 boom. Just got to nurture it a little bit.
So this is something I don't know. I don't know if you know too much about this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Is there any word when the Twitch channel is going to start seeing some more activity and stuff? I think last time I talked to Bill, he was waiting for the capture card to come in to play some games and stuff. But is there maybe a time frame we can expect to start seeing you guys streaming more often?
Absolutely, man. Bill is a fucking big guy when it comes to streaming, man. He wants to do a lot of shit. I'm the same way. Joey is the same way too. I think you'll see all three of us streaming different shit. But at the beginning of the year, you're going to see a fucking onslaught of a lot of shit that we've been working on, the culmination of a lot of different things we've been tweaking the knobs on and turning the fucking whistles on. We're going to turn the heat up in terms of content leaking out of our camp. You know what I'm saying? Leaking out of us.
Yeah, I for one would like to say that I would like to see, this was not really teased, but mentioned early on in the streams. I think it was Bill that we'd like to see Joe come out and do some supernatural stories or something like that. I know that was something that was kind of like hinted at, that we would like try to get him out of his dark fortress to kind of do a lot. I would love to see him, kind of talk about his supernatural findings, because I love that shit too. I'm sure we all do, being in the
man. Me and him always chop it up about all kinds of shit like that. We love like fucking strangeness and supernatural stories and fucking cryptids and all that shit, man. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing all kinds of shit like that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Streaming, you'll see us like we said on Twitch. You'll see us on Twitch more. You'll see us on fucking live streams more. The podcast is gonna get cracking off. We're gonna have all kinds of shit dropping very, very soon.
Yeah, I know. Bill has mentioned this before too, about 2 events that he's planning. Hopefully annual events that he was planning for the next year. We know one of them is Camp Zool. Do you have any word about Camp Zool? Like, I don't know, maybe what might be going on, maybe where it might be going on?
That's a little bit too far into the pre-stages of the planning process. It's in like pre-planning, but it's definitely one of those ideas that it's going to come to fruition. It's just a matter of where and when. I know the other event is we really want to start to establish like these annual events once fucking society gets out of its post-apocalyptic fucking slump and things get back to normal or whatever the fuck that looks like. When shows come back, we're gonna start to really cement these one weekend only fucking annual events that are ours exclusively, AXE exclusively, things that we can build upon. And I think one of them will be in the fall. And then I would say Camp Zool, when we do pull it off eventually, it's probably going to be in the fucking summertime. I'd love to do a camp in the fall, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that, yeah.
We'll get snowed in and have to fucking eat each other.
The Donner Party.
Chat and see who I'm eating when we're snowed in together. okay. It just says Facebook user. All these things say Facebook user.
If you want your name to show up, everybody, in the description, there's a link that you click on. You give StreamYard your position or permission, and then it'll show your name. But
fuck them. I'm eating.
Who cares?
When we're all snowed in together, I'm eating fucking Cameron. That's who I'm eating. Cameron, I'm fucking eating your corpse when we get snowed in together.
Sorry, brother. You're the first to go.
I'm gonna draw.
Somebody's asking, and I guess I could ask this since we were just talking about video games. Like, what do you think of the new Evil Dead game that's supposed to be coming out? Have you seen the trailer and stuff for it yet?
Dude, I'm so fucking... You know how we were talking about anytime something new comes out of something, you're like, oh, this is the best, this is the best. Evil Dead is my shit. And I think that anytime something new, substantial Evil Dead drops, my fucking nipples get hard as glass.
Yeah.
I'm a little fucking... If you want, I'll be fucking devil's advocate here, though. Since I'm among my family in the alley, I'm a little bit pissed off that it looks like it's some fucking co-op shit. I wanted a fucking single-player Ash behind the fucking shoulder, action game.
Yeah.
In the Evil Dead universe. That to me would be the shit. Something like Fistful of Boomsticks, something like fucking Hail to the King, but more current.
It does kind of look like that.
I'll take whatever I can fucking get.
Yeah. At this point, yeah. What I thought was kind of cool about the trailers, it looks like it's like the entire universe, like the entire Evil Dead universe, like in one, from like I think it was the chick.
Yeah, it's got characters from Army of Darkness, the TV series, all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that looks dope.
I wish we could have got Pablo though.
Yeah. We'll deal. Or the swamp, the what was it, the swamp witch or whatever the hell her name was, from the pit in Army of Darkness.
Yeah, that would be fucking fresh. Hopefully, there's some dope enemies in it like that. But there's all kinds of shit I'm looking forward to gaming wise, and Evil Dead's definitely one of the games for sure.
Yeah, I've been stuck in Cyberpunk right now, bro. Like,
you're probably literally stuck inside of a wall, like clipping inside of a wall, aren't you?
Dude, it feels weird when you play a game like that, because like the first person games, at least when I play them, I'll sit down and play for like 7-8 hours straight, and then like I get up and I start walking away, and I'm like, you feel like you're in the world. You're like, oh shit, this is what real life is like.
This is real life, Holmes.
Dude, the same thing happened with Skyrim. When I played Skyrim forever, dude, it was the same goddamn thing. I'd be walking around playing that game for hours, then I get up and I go outside, and I'm like, this is what the real outside is like.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, I love gaming, man. Any Zooligan wants to get in on some gaming shit, man, hit me up at Carver of Zool on Xbox Live. That's all spaced out. Carver of Zool.
Carver of Zool. Did you manage to
get the man, friend request me. Let's get in on some Warzone. Huh?
Did you get the new Xbox then, or no?
No, I'm holding off, man. I'm probably going to buy the new PlayStation first. I'm going to get both of them eventually, but I'm going to try to fuck with the PS5 first.
Yeah. You want to let all the beta testers figure out everything.
I'm a big single-player guy, man.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. I want all the bugs to get worked out.
Yeah. All the overheating and all those issues to, like, clear themselves out before you get one.
Yes. But I do plan on getting both. I love console gaming. Not so much a PC guy, but I fuck with consoles.
Yeah, something I was going to mention earlier is I've heard you say that you would never do another Knoxx album, another Knoxx solo album. But is there any chance we get a Lee Carver solo album in the future at any point?
I think you can 100 fucking guarantee percent. 1,000% guarantee, whatever the fuck guarantee you want to put on it. There will be a solo album eventually, Lee Carver solo album. Knoxx is done though, man. Like I hate to say that, but it's just a different period of time in my life. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It was my come up, but I've been Lee Carver for longer, bro. And that period of time is just gone. But I love to rap and I love to create shit, man. So there will 100% be a Lee Carver solo album. And if you guys want to fucking hear one, just fucking be vocal about it, man. That helps us out a lot. Is, you know, just by you bringing it up, I'm like, okay, dope. They want it, so I'll fucking work on it. I'll give it what it deserves.
Yeah, you guys, you know, you want to see
But
something.
I already have the idea for one kind of in my head actually already.
Would it be like
And then when it does happen, it'll be tied into what we already have going on.
Okay.
Kind of.
I was just gonna ask, is it gonna be like a standalone, separate universe? You know, a different timeline, so to speak, or is it gonna be like in the extended Zooligan universe? But it sounds like you're gonna keep it in the thing you guys have already got going on, right?
Yeah, man. I just think that it would be about what Lee does on a fucking Friday night while Bill and Joe are practicing fucking dark magics at the church, and I just sneak out and go get some Taco Bell and smoke some drugs.
Hell yeah, man. So would it be a full length then?
Something like that.
Full length then, you think?
Oh yeah, it'd be full length probably, man. I that's what I would aim for.
That's dope. That's dope.
Just tell him, be like, hey Bill, tell Lee he can fucking drop a solo album. We want one. No, I guess it'll come eventually, bro.
That's dope. That's dope. I mean, I'm looking forward to that shit, bro. Like people who've been like waiting for new Knoxx, like next best thing, better than that would be a Lee Carver solo. So
yeah, man, I just like to fucking rap, bro. I like to fucking rap, and it's hard to shut me up. So I think that you'll get one.
That's dope. So I know we know.
I'll try to put it out before 2022. There you go.
There we go. All right. So within the next year, then, right?
It might be in 2022. So within the next 2 years.
Okay. 2 years. Okay. So before 2023, before 2023, yes. We can expect it. I guess this kind of will tie into that a little bit. Is that I know there are some artists that will do. I mean, Twisted's done kind of like throwback like concerts, like they did the Most Tasteless tour. Would you ever do like a Mask solo tour where like you perform some of those songs and then maybe even with like say your new solo album? Would you ever? I guess the question is, would you ever tour solo?
Nah, man, that would suck fucking so much dick, honestly. I think even if I did, if I went out solo, I would have to still be like, I gotta figure out a way to fucking put my other two assholes through this torture as well.
Get them on the hype man.
Yeah, man, and I don't know if it would ever facilitate that. I mean, maybe you could see a solo Lee Carver set, but as far as going back and demasking or doing any kind of fucking mortal human shit like that, no.
I would say you could put a big Flavor Flav clock on Joe, you know, have him come out and just hype.
Absolutely, bro. I fucking put strings around his wrists and shit and fucking puppeteer him every night.
Little marionette action.
Yes.
So, I guess we know that there's going to be an Astro. Well, there's supposedly going to be an Astro next year. Do you guys plan on attending the next year's Astro? Because I know, like, all the artists sometimes don't participate. You guys have been to the past two, I believe. So is the next one in the cards if they end up having it, or?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Anytime that to me is one of my favorite events of the year. It's become one of my favorites. It's one of those times when we get to really interact with you guys and not have to be completely fucking like on point. Like we can cut it up with you guys and drink beers and, you know, just chop it up and not have to worry about performing nonstop 100%. So if it's safe to have Astronomicon and it goes on, you can guarantee that you'll see us there.
Dope. Yeah, so all you guys listening, like Astro was amazing. You don't want to miss it, dude. It's like this year I went in February. Well, Lee was there as well. And it's like, then all this shit happened, you know? So it's like, you got to kind of do stuff when you get the chance to do it. Otherwise, you know, who knows when another fucking lame ass shit like this is going to happen, you know? Like,
Yeah, man, I think that's one of the fucking silver linings out of all this shit is this giant reset button that's been hit on our society is going to make us fucking appreciate the shit more. It's going to make us appreciate everything more.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that's really going to benefit is the live show experience because you used to have we were going to take the year off anyway. If you guys remember us saying that before, we planned on taking the majority of this year off so we could work on actual music. The thing is, though, we were still going to do weekend only shows, and we weren't going to completely fucking shut ourselves away from humanity like we had to this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Once it's safe to enter the wild again, the AXC is gonna go right back to where we were at, and that's just fucking nonstop performing.
Yeah, I remember
But
you
it's
guys
gonna make
saying
you guys
that.
appreciate it more. Aren't you more excited to see us now? Aren't you more
Yeah.
excited to go to see any fucking show? I don't care what artist we're talking about.
People are chomping at the bit right now to get some, live shows going again. I know that for sure. I guess I forgot about this, but somebody mentioned in the chat that I know you guys were supposed to go UK next year. Is that still in the cards? I think it was March. Is that still?
We were supposed to go to the United Kingdom this year, and it got fucked up, obviously. And I know they've rescheduled it, and it's in March of this year. But I think that's still going to be cutting it close. But I'm optimistic. I'm hoping that we can make it happen.
Yeah, I almost forgot
But
about
regardless, if it gets fucking moved or shuffled around again, we're still coming no matter what. It's just a matter of when everybody's fucking safe and we're not risking a bunch of dumb shit to put on a show for everybody, then that's when we'll be there.
Yeah. With all the social distancing and guidelines, I'm sure they're going to have, after all this is over. But, they're talking about a vaccine, so, we're all hoping for the best, I guess.
Yeah, let's see what's up with that, man.
So I guess we've been going for about an hour now. I guess we'll start to wind down. Is there anything you kind of want to maybe tease out there for people about something that's coming up, or any shout outs you want to give here, Lee?
Well, I want to give a shout out to every motherfucking Zooligan alive or dead on this dying fucking planet that we're currently inhabiting right now. In this moment, in this time right now, thank you to every fucking Zooligan. Your support is what keeps us alive. I stress it more than anything, and it's not a fucking gimmick and it's not bullshit. We fucking love you motherfuckers and you're our lifeblood. So shout out to y'all. And I guess I can't promote any one specific thing, but I do want to be fucking abundantly clear when I say this. We are currently busy as fucking fuck right now, brewing up an onslaught of shit, and the beginning of this year is gonna fucking smack like a fucking freight train. That's all I can say is Zooligans, be ready to keep your fucking horns up in the air.
Yeah, New Year is going to be keep your peepers peeled, as we would say, because there's going to be a lot of shit dropping. We got the Axeman song to look forward to. We've got Attack of the Ninjas in a couple weeks. Then we've got an album coming in April. And then we've got Astro after that. We've got
tons of new music.
Lee Carver
tons of
solo
singles
album
coming
eventually.
Your way. 2022, baby.
2022.
Don't let me forget it, though. You guys got to periodically remind me.
It's just around the corner, guys. Don't worry. Trust me. There will be people who post in the alley every day. Where's the Lee Carver solo album? It'll happen.
February 22nd of the year 2022. So it's 2/22/2022. There
we go. The release date. Exclusive for you guys right here.
Well, I'll push that shit back tomorrow, though.
All right, well, Lee, thanks for coming on. It's always good to have you on. Hopefully we can get you guys back on again.
It's a pleasure to be here, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving a fuck enough about me to care about me talking.
Hell yeah, man. All the time. Anytime you want to come on, bro, you know how to get a hold of me, bro. So thanks all you
absolutely, man. Like I said, man,
go for it.
Y'all motherfuckers are the best. Forever face Ali in this motherfucker. Long live evil in this motherfucker. AXE in this motherfucker. Luke Nukem in this motherfucker. Face to face in this motherfucker. Fuck your face inside of your face and my face and your face. Fuck you. It's the Allah's only move.
And I think we'll end at that. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys again soon.